Why don't you allow me, Your Excellency, to invite the Governor Nairobi County to just come and also make a few remarks. As he comes, why don't you give him a warm welcome? Karibu, Saks.
This is the real deal. Your Excellency, you lead a beautiful country. God has gifted us as Kenyans with everything you'd look for in a tourism product and in a tourism package, from the most beautiful, pristine sandy beaches to a tropical rainforest in Kakamega, to wildlife in the Mara and in the north, and to, of course, Nairobi, the only capital in the world with a natural national park where you can look at animals in their untouched habitat, and in the background, you have a skyline of a capital city. Don't we have a beautiful country? Waziri Rebecca Miano, you have to give me a commission because I've brought you a few tourists from across the continent of Africa. I have mayors and governors who are on a leadership program in Nairobi, and we felt that it would be nice to bring them to see what we have in magical Kenya. I'll just quickly introduce them. Of course, we have Governor Olelenku of Kajiado, with whom we share the Nairobi National Park to some extent. We have Jamie Cooper, the president of Big Win Philanthropies. We have Madam High Excellency Monica Gengos, the former First Lady of Namibia. She's here with us. We have the Mayor of Freetown, Ivona Kisoya. Freetown is the capital of Sierra Leone. We have the President of Harar region. He's here with us in Ethiopia. We have David Colter, the Mayor of Bulawayo. He's here with us. We have Kesete, former Minister for Health of Ethiopia. He's with us. Hastings Chikoko is there. We have the mayor, two mayors from Zambia, actually. Three from Chris. We have Ndiku, we have Jonas from Zambia. Please, let's clap for them. Now, who have I missed out? I think that's the team. Of course, Edgar Peters, who's the president of Africa Cities program at the University of Cape Town. Oh, of course, my very good friend, Queen, the mayor of Windhoek, Namibia. They say Windhoek. We need to learn how to pronounce it. Your Excellency, thank you for earlier on meeting these mayors. When the dance was going on, Her Excellency, the First Lady of Namibia, told me that you would mistake those dancers to be a woman in Namibia. We have so much in common in Africa. As we put together these packages, I think Waziri and the Tourism Board, and thank you so much, Madam CEO, let us try and connect our continent better. Our President has opened up this country, thank you. You don't need a visa to come to Kenya for one special reason. And we are competing with Madam Monica. She says that the Khoisans and Khoikois were here earlier, but the earliest fossils of humankind have been found in Kenya. So when we welcome our visitors, we tell them this is the real deal and welcome home. We also have with us the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Town, Madam Mamfela, who's also a serious figure in the struggle for the liberation of the Republic of South Africa. Asanteni sana, karibuni Kenya. As I close, please Kenyans, we cannot sell our country if we're always negative. We need to be positive about our country. We need to be positive about our country. The mayors I have shown them just a few things in Nairobi. And many times it's easy for us to forget that God has blessed us. And sometimes we focus on the negative. We have a beautiful country, beautiful weather all around. We have an amazing president who understands, whatever you bring to him, he's able to put it clearly. A champion for climate change. We're the environmental capital of the world with UNEP here. So please, even if there are two things you don't like, say 5 things that are working about our country called Kenya. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki. Congratulations for this beautiful, magical Kenya. Whatever you require from the counties. I've seen you've listed 9 counties. I've seen my minister who is in charge of tourism is here with us. Whatever you require from our counties, on behalf of the Council of Governors, I can assure you that we're here to work with you. The only thing you have not yet done, Your Excellency, you promised us that we will share money from the parks and the game reserves. I'm waiting, and I know how much Nairobi National Park makes. I am very ready to receive that money. Waziri Rebecca Miano from the gate, from the ticketing in the park. May God bless all of you. Karibuni Kanairo, Karibuni Nairobi.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Governor. Your Excellency, sir, today we are also joined by quite a number of stakeholders, but allow me to call Fred Odek, who's the chair for Kenya Tourism Federation, to speak on their behalf. Why don't we give him a warm welcome as he's approaching the stage. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. Allow me to ride on the protocols already provided at the beginning of this session. Mr. President, Madam Rebecca Miano, all the ministers in the House, good afternoon again. Mine is very simple. First, I would like to welcome all the guests in Kenya. And as been mentioned at the Kenya Real Deal, the problem we have is, do we actually have a chance to sample it? Does the country have a chance to actually serve the guests? I think that should be the first thing we need to do. We need to use the people already on the ground in Kenya to be our first ambassadors to market the country. And how we do that is that we need to ensure through the President's office that we provide enough security in our country to ensure that the delegates in our country are free, not just to go to the national parks, but to enjoy Nairobi nightlife. You cannot sell a country if people cannot actually sample the country. So let's use this chance to sample the country so that we do not spend more money in marketing while they can do that on our behalf. They can talk about it, they can tweet about it, they can Instagram it, and allow the world to see it. Number two, the private sector in the country. This is your chance to actually ensure that you make meaningful journey of partnerships. Because the people that are coming in for the expo are actually looking for partnerships to work with us. Your Excellency, tourism offers you the easiest mode for investment. Because we need to expand our country so that people can visit it. But tourism actually is the easiest way to actually attract investment. So let's harness tourism to attract investment, not just the parks, but for the cities within Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Eldoret, Nakuru, and the rest. Now, my appeal, Bwana Sakaja, you mentioned that you want revenues from our parks. Bwana President, you cannot give Sakaja money until you give enough money to Madam June to help you to market the country. Bwana Lelenku, you cannot take our money before June gets her share. And I would like to make a second appeal, Mr. President. We as the private sector pay a lot of money to Masai Mara as a destination. I've been a chair for the last 3 years. Masai Mara has never given back money to KTB, while everybody in this room markets Masai Mara. Madam CS, our request, we like revenue share. Not for us as private sector, but we want a revenue share from Masai Mara to go to KTB to allow KTB to have enough kitty to market the country. We compete across the globe. We are going for WTM. We don't have money enough to actually ensure that Kenya as a country takes its rightful place at WTM. And we can do that by ensuring that we don't harass the national government, but we get money from the beneficiaries of tourism in the counties. So if we can do that, then we benefit by marketing the country better, and we get better revenues. My last remarks. We would wish, as the private sector, to bring to the attention of the national government that the policies being put in place for tourism would need us to participate in them so that we can advise as tourism players on which areas that we need to be hastened faster. We know that there are a number of airlines coming in the country. We would like you to ensure that those airlines are assisted to settle in faster because they add us more numbers as we look for numbers in tourism. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And Your Excellency, now allow me to invite the Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, Honorable Rebecca Miano, to recognize the CSs and PSs present and also make her remarks. Let's give her a clap as she's coming. Welcome, Madam Waziri.
Your Excellency, the President, before I say anything, allow me to invite the Chairman of the National Assembly Committee on Tourism and Wildlife to introduce the members for 1 minute.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, all protocols observed. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Kenyan Assembly, Tourism and Wildlife Committee, to recognize the members who are present. Maybe they can be upstanding. Yeah, we have Mheshimiwa Kolei, we have Mheshimiwa Innocent Mugabe, and we have Mheshimiwa Mutai on behalf of the team. Your Excellency, allow me just a minute to appreciate the current leadership in the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. The team is working closely so that we can really be able to achieve our objective. Lastly, Your Excellency, tourism and hospitality sector, it is private sector driven. Basically, we get very little allocation from national government. It is through the resources which is internally generated which is able to propel the tourism sector to what it is. Your Excellency, we are getting stiff competition within the region. And for us really to be able to compete with the other destinations, Your Excellency, our humble request, and from where I sit as the chair of National Tourism and Wildlife Committee, you are able to generate adequate resources internally. However, Your Excellency, the ceilings which are set by the National Treasury does not permit us to flow that money back to KTB and all the other related sectors. So, Your Excellency, our humble prayer is for National Treasury to be able to increase the ceiling of the resources which is needed so that we can really be able to make Kenya the best destination which we have in the country. Lastly, Your Excellency, 2 weeks ago I was in UK and I met the Black Knight football clubs. And they are all willing to come and work together with us so that we can continue showcasing Kenya as the destination in Africa and in the rest of the world. Thank you, Excellency, sir.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Allow me also to introduce my cabinet colleagues who have joined us today, starting with the CS for Investment, Trade and Industry, Salim Mvuria. Tourism is investment and trade in services. We trade in joy and adventure and will work closely with you. The CS for Roads and Transport, there is no tourism without transport. The CS for Education, we partner, there is a lot of capacity building that is required. I will then introduce the PSs who have joined today. If you could kindly stand, starting with PS for Tourism, John Ololtua, PS for Wildlife, Sylvia Museya. We have PS Abubakar for Investment. We have PS for Cooperative, Mr. Kilemi. We have the Solicitor General, Shadrach Mose. We have UMI for Culture. We have PS Kaituko. We have PS for Correctional Services, Biako. And finally, PS for Transport, for Roads, Engineer Joseph Mbugua. I will then introduce all the chairmen of the agencies that are here, not by name, but they can all stand. We recognize them, starting with the chair of KTB. They are all here, plus your board members. Kindly stand, and the CEOs present, and all government officials who have attended today. You're welcome, Your Excellency. The whole country is here. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, I want to thank you very much for the valuable time you have set aside to join us today, a testament that you really value the tourism sector. We thank you for your guidance and for the leadership. Today marks a historical moment in our industry as we gather here to reimagine how to promote Destination Kenya. Your Excellency, we intend to double our numbers, and we have a whole strategy that we've taken you through. We are working on diversifying the products, increasing safety and security, digitizing, among others. And we are grateful that this is a starting moment. We want to assure you, Your Excellency, that we will not tire until we have a fully thriving tourism sector. With those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, join me. We stand in welcoming His Excellency the President. Mr. President.
Opportunity first to welcome all our guests, friends, partners from different parts of the world and from different parts of our continent to Nairobi and to Kenya. I am delighted to welcome you to this very important event today, and to our visitors from abroad, welcome to Nairobi, our vibrant, modern, and diverse capital city that embodies the spirit of Kenya. As the governor of the city has said, this is a city that doesn't sleep, and you will experience the rich hospitality and dynamic culture that Lonely Planet recognized when it named Nairobi the world's top city in its Best in Travel 2024 rankings. If you are looking for the city that Lonely Planet said is the best, top city in the year 2024, I want to inform you that you are in Nairobi, and that is where it is. Kenya, as we all know and has been said ably, is the cradle of humanity, with a wealth of archaeological evidence identifying the East African savanna as the site where our earliest ancestors lived. Specifically, the Lake Turkana Basin in northern Kenya is where some of the earliest human remains were discovered. We proudly embrace this heritage, welcoming you back to humanity's first home. As the Turkana people would say, Tobongu Lore, it also means welcome home, karibu nyumbani.